Welcome back to another episode of Seek Distractions, and if you can't tell, the camera is facing a different way because today we're going to be doing Am I the Arsehole? Mel's been wanting to do this for a very, very long time, let's just say that, and I think now is a great time to do it. We just hit 100 subscribers or whatever it was. Firstly, again, thank you for that. But secondly, we've been watching Am I the Arseholes and people going through their Reddits and other people's Reddit pages, basically getting really good submissions and getting really good stories, and we love watching that. We love reading them. Hopefully in the future we'll actually have our own Reddit page where you guys can make submissions for Try Not to Laugh and Am I the Arseholes and everything else in between, memes, videos to react to, whatever it may be. So we'll make sure you guys are posted on that. Today, let's get into the main video. Am I the Arsehole? Personally, I think Mel is, and I was waiting for a response, waiting for a little punch there, but she's going to be the scribe. What's the person that reads something? Not a scribe, like a
dictator.
No.
What do you mean by that?
Presenter.
The reader.
Yeah.
Starting off nice and sweet. Short and easy, sweet and I don't know.
Sweet and sour.
Sweet and sour.
You want a sweet and sour?
A few moments later.
Am I the arsehole for buying the last caramel shortcake even though I overheard a child wanted it?
Children want everything. That's the problem.
Let's get into the nitty gritty. At my neighbourhood cafe this morning, I was standing in queue, putting on my headphones and enjoying some music, and two customers were in front of me. I immediately spotted my fave dessert, a shortcake with salt caramel. Believe me when I say I was ecstatic to see it there, because every time I come in, there's never any left. There was only one, and there were many other sweets, such as cakes and brownies, for context. A mother and her child enter and form a queue behind me. Maybe the child was 9 years old. I heard the child yelling that he wants the shortcake and that I was eyeing. Immediately, I'm like, I'm gonna get it.
I just want to beat the kid.
Stop it. Get some help.
Because I know if I was the kid and there was an adult there that beat me, I know I'd want to do it in the future.
I'd be so annoyed as a kid. But
Don't do violence to kids. I'm not doing that, but I'm saying like, come on, let's win.
Passive aggressiveness of just taking what they want.
You know what? I imagine like you just pick it up and look at them in the eye, but you don't say like the eyes are doing all the talking, and the kid's about to start crying. He's about to hold his mouth. And then it's just like in the basket.
Alright.
Hey, kid, you don't even have money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. He would not stop yelling at his mother to get what he wanted, and she promised to get it for him. I lowered the volume of my music so I can listen in the conversation, so she didn't know I can hear them. Fair play. When it was my turn to place an order, I go for the shortcake with salt caramel, and hear the child inform his mother right away that I stole the last piece.
No.
Then he loses it, throws a fit, kicking and screaming at his mother to get it from me. The child is throwing me a glare when I turn to leave after paying. After that, his mother accuses me of being a bad person for taking the last piece, even though I knew he wanted it. She then demands for me to give her the shortcake because her child was wanting it all morning. I said a simple, no, have a good weekend, and walked out. Am I the arsehole? Off the bat, I don't think so. I mean, thinking about it, obviously, I've done this before. I've done it.
I think I've done it probably on purpose. I think at one point.
I mean, you know when I go to factory.
Oh yeah.
To get us like bakery goods and everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want 4 of those, 2 of those, 2 of those, 2 of those.
You know what? That's the.
And 2 of those. And then I see there's the last one of my favourites. I'm going to grab it as well. I end up I'm basically buying so much because I very rarely go to one of my favourite bakeries. So if there's a kid behind me wanting, I'm like, no.
It's mine.
I'll...
See, that's the thing actually. When going to that place, I feel like a greedy guy.
Yeah, because you end up getting everything, but it's a little family-owned bakery, and it's so...
So good and tasty.
We're making like a couple hundred of those items a day.
Yeah, they're
They're
still
not
up by
like-
midday.
Yeah, exactly. They're not going to be lost. You know, like there was that thing about the cronuts in America, in New York, wherever cronuts. There's like donuts and a croissant. Or
I've heard about
whatever. I can't remember what it was, but basically they only made like 100 or a couple whatever a day, and there was lines in the morning, and they were charging like $5-10. So regardless, they're making like decent money on them. That is that exact situation. Imagine there's 150 and you're number 150, and the guy behind you is like, I've been waiting your time, and I'm like, well, so have I. So I'm gonna get it because I'm in line.
But if you're a 9-year-old screaming, crying over a bit of shortbread, you've got problems.
But as a kid, the only things you really care about is like entertainment and food.
The thing is, I was not that type of child.
No, neither.
I'm not the best example for this. My sister was though.
Yeah, your sister.
My sister.
You know what? One of the comments my parents always had, sorry to interrupt you, was like, I never asked for anything. And they said, you never asked for anything in terms of like, you know, kids would go, Daddy, I want this, I want this. I never did that.
I wasn't that
I never
child
asked
either.
for money. I wouldn't even dare ask for mum to have a £10 to go outside.
I
Are you
did do
crazy?
that when I was...
£10 is like £1 million. Jeez. These kids today wouldn't last. Like,
Mum, can I have 50 quid to go get food with my friends? What?
50?
That's nowadays.
I don't have £50 for myself to go get food. Like that. That's another thing. I know we've kind of strayed away from the topic, but that's where the conversation goes. It's like, I hate when people will ask for money. Let's say one of your friends asks you, oh, boys, can I have like 100 quid or 50 or whatever? Like a random number. They go, yeah, because I want to do this and this and this. I'm like, wait, hold on. When you just like gambling on the weekend, that's not a priority, dude. Like, you've really...
You done fucked up now!
I have just realised, the black is really washed in the camera.
Oh, we're both wearing black as well.
Yeah, we're wearing black. So basically, if I did this with just a head...
So, Luke, final thoughts on this one?
Finders, keepers.
Losers, weepers.
Exactly, just like this kid. And I think you're not the asshole, you're just being in the right place at the right time, and you're telling the story how you perceive it.
Mum might
Not
be...
the arsehole.
I don't think they're the arsehole either. Mum's just probably a bit stressed having such an annoying kid. Sorry.
I would hate annoying kids.
Alright, next one.
What's the title?
Am I the arsehole for asking my girlfriend not to come to my play? I, 28 male, have been involved in theatre since high school. I now do community theatre as a way to make friends and keep up with a hobby. My girlfriend, 28 female, played sport and told me early on in dating that she thought theatre was cringe and she didn't like it. No big deal, couples don't have to have the same interests. So, I took a few months off, but I just got cast in a musical. She asked when the show is, and I said not to worry about it because I'd rather she didn't come, knowing she wouldn't enjoy it. This upset her because she said she wants to support me. She and her friends have made fun of me in the past about being a theatre kid, which I took in stride, but I feel more supported knowing they aren't out in the audience cringing and laughing behind my back. I'm not going to stop doing something I like to do, but if she doesn't like it, so what? No reason to go. But am I the arsehole for saying I don't want her to go?
Just off that alone, what's your initial thoughts?
I can see how it would be discouraging to have somebody who makes fun of you in, say, theatre. I say that so
Professional.
British. I said it very proper.
So proper.
Delectable. Indeed. Yes.
Right, what do you think?
I don't think you're the asshole, bro, because, for example, if I was to be doing something that I enjoyed, and even if you liked it or not, but I just wanted it for my own, like, mental checklist of, like, I don't have the pressure of, like, you watching, for example, and I was like to say that I would appreciate, didn't want to come in respect of what I've said because I want to be in, like, a good headspace, but I also then don't mind you coming for the sake of supporting, if that makes sense, like, giving, like, a both, like, a best of both worlds. Just, for example, like, if it was gymnastics and you, I don't care about gymnastics, but I think it's bloody insane what these people do with their bodies and, like, the way they're able to, like, run, jump and all this stuff. Will I go to support you? Yes. Will I go if you wasn't there? No. But I'll go because there's two interests there. One, to support you, and two, you. That makes sense? So, like, I'm going to go there to support you, do your thing. Like, that should be, like, a non-negotiable in a relationship most of the time. If you've then mocked it, if I was to have then mocked your gymnastics, say, oh, you're rubbish, or that's kind of cringe, you're all just, like, wearing leotards and think you're fairies, you know?
You're wearing little girly tutus and outfits, haha.
It is I, Cruz Zinkelpel,
Exactly. If I was to mock you like that and then
But
you
no, I
say-
don't want you to come.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I know you would. You'd be like, yep, no, I don't want you to come. But if I was to say I don't really have an interest in it, but I would love to watch you do your thing, cool, I'm there.
I think it's the mocking that does it.
Yeah, if there was no mocking, that context doesn't matter.
Because if theatre...
In the theatre. William Shakespeare.
I used to do lots of acting and drama.
Like Stagecoach.
I done Stagecoach, and I also done some Shakespeare plays and multitude of different things. And then after that I done dance shows, and then after that I done gymnastics shows and performances. I've invited people to all of them, like whether it's family or friends or both. If they want to come, they're more than welcome to.
That's how it should be.
All of those people, although they weren't in the gymnastics or acting fields, they were still supportive and interested in the performances. I wouldn't want anybody who's made fun of me there. You know, like it's like negativity.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think that's respectable then to say,
That you wouldn't be the arsehole?
yeah, exactly. You'd be the asshole in this context if she didn't say that, but you said I don't want you there, and you gave no real reason. But if you gave a reason of like I don't want you there because you've cringed, that you say it's cringy, or that for my own mental like clarity of when I go to like a tournament, for example, or if I went to a game or whatever like that context is you're saying for the person, I like to be in a clear headspace of no one that's there that I care about or matters is watching. That's what's important.
I suppose it just depends on the relationship with that person, because I think this is a deeper issue than
Could be.
just thinking...
Maybe there's something else that she's like cringing at.
But I think there might be a slightly deeper root issue, because if you're actually, you know, like your partner, you generally support them with anything that they actually do.
I got you, homie.
You should do.
Generally.
It's like anything. I think if you were, for example, like going to the gym, okay, you see this all the time actually online where like couples will start going to the gym, but only one of them ends up staying there and being committed. Like you've seen those videos on TikTok. It'd be like the girl would get into some insane shape, or she would lose weight on her journey, but the husband started there, but he didn't continue. We don't know what the reasons why he stopped, but then you see all the comments are really negative, and it's just like these things that you change. Maybe he's just being really supportive of her, and he's like taking on like an extra job to support it. You know, like these like different things of context that you don't get to see in a minute worth of clip or video. It's the same with this. This actually has context behind it, and you can go, you're not the arsehole, bro. I think that's plain and simple. We'll be here all day saying you're not the arsehole. You're a good guy.
Broski, you're not asshole.
This is the third one. So you got like story 3, and it's like that stupid thing of like I watch Mojo, or like some thing of like a number 5, number 2, number 1. You know, like those videos.
Knockout.
Fatality.
Top 10 knockouts ever.
I got floof.
I got floof on.
I got floof. Okay, this one's slightly longer, so buckle up, buckle in.
Let it begin.
Something like that, I guess. Am I the arsehole for blowing up on my dad and telling him he can't see my daughter? A little backstory. I'm a 19-year-old male and have a fiancée. Let's call her Kay, who is 19, female, and I have an 8-month-old little girl. So all my life, my dad has basically done nothing for me. He would call me to tell me and my mum where to go, so I can stay with him for the summer and then ghost us so I wouldn't hear from him again for months. He is still way behind on child support for not only me, but for 2 of my other siblings. He's always just been hateful and mean. I have tried to talk to him and have a relationship with him, especially since now I have a kid and I want him to be a part of her life. We've talked and stayed civil for at least a couple of years. I used to live with him when I was around 16 and worked at the same place as him. He stole around $1,000 from me in total while I lived with him, and he would promise to pay it back to me or buy me something I wanted to make up for it, and I never got anything. I would help with bills and buy my own special things so he didn't have to. So me and my fiance just got a puppy about 3 months ago. My dad called and asked if we wanted to come and stay with him for the weekend. Our puppy wasn't housebroken yet and couldn't be alone for that long, and we didn't have anyone to watch the pup, so we asked if we can bring him with us. After a little convincing, my dad agreed. So we get to his house and everything was fine with the entire visit. I actually had a good time. Now for the part where I might be the arsehole.
Cat is outside.
My pup is a litter of like 6. My older brother got my pup's sister and I found she had sarcoptic mange.
Mel's a bit occupied, so let's get on with it. My pup is from a litter of like 6. My older brother got my pup's sister and found out she had a sarcoptic mange, which is a type of mange dogs can get from a parasite called scabies. I've never heard of this before. We thought my pup had it because his ears were crusty and started to split, so I called my father and told him about my brother's dog and how my pup might have had it. He went on a whole rant telling me I should be ashamed of myself for bringing an animal around my 8-month-old daughter and calling me a shitty father. I was honestly kind of shocked and responded with, "You have no right to tell me how I am as a father when you have 6 kids and you only talk to 2 of them." Me and my 13-year-old brother is the only ones that he talks to. He told me I was neurotic and told me to go F myself. I just didn't respond at that point. A couple of weeks later, I saw that Godzilla Minus One is on Netflix, and me and my father are huge Godzilla fans. So I tried to call him, no answer. So I tried again in a few hours, still no answer. I called my little brother just to find out my dad blocked me, and it was because he didn't put up with BS. So I told him and his wife that my family will no longer be a part of his cultish family and how I will not allow my daughter to be around that kind of toxicity. He yelled at me and told my little brother he was no longer allowed to talk to me. Am I the arsehole? Question mark. There's no way you're the arsehole after all of this story, bro. There's no way.
Your father sounds a bit of a deadbeat at this moment in time. I don't know. Sounds a bit immature, not good enough for his own kids.
I don't think it does emotionally stable to be able to support a family. I think the first point when he's like about child support, asking for that, I don't really agree with. Deciding to have a kid, you should be able to provide and be not financially like set for life and have millions and millions. That's not how life works, but you should be able to have some sort of stability or regularity of work and income to support that, because you have mouths to feed, animals as well. That's a lot of money a month to be able to basically survive. I don't know, that's a very touchy subject for many parents and many children, I guess.
Opie mentions that either their father only speaks to 2 of them out of the 5 siblings, so he's clearly not around to be able to, build that relationship with any of them, let alone with one of the ones who actually makes an effort to try and talk to them. And then when the Opie mentions about their ill or sick puppy, things happen. So I mean, if you have a new puppy and you have a newborn,
you've got so many factors against you to be able to be comfortable and like happy. I think you shouldn't be reliant on your father, but your parents, you should have a good relation with them to some degree. I know not everyone has like really good relationships with them, but you should have a very strong, stable relationship to be able to be open, honest and ask questions.
There's always room for family.
It just depends. If your dad's the one blocking you and then you have to find that out from your sibling,
that's very childish.
At that point you can try maybe like one more time to reach out, but if you end up just cutting them off,
how far does that go?
It's just easier sometimes. Because if you end up just cutting your parents off completely, cold turkey, you then have the freedom of not feeling judged and pressurised by your own parents who don't support you very well. I don't think he's the asshole in this one. You know
what? I don't think many of the people that post these will ever be the assholes in this story, but there'll be some that are probably like, when people will die on the hill of like an opinion or thing, there will be some people that have definitely been slated off in Reddit and in the past. So I'm happy to see where someone actually is the arsehole before just doing something really outlandish. But that has been our first ever Am I the Arsehole video. I appreciate that it's a bit of a different style, different editing, different setup, different framing. We got the cat as well, so we have an extra person on crew for today's video. So you know what, just because Nala's here, make sure you leave a like, comment and subscribe. We'll be doing more Am I the Arseholes in the future. We're going to set up a little Reddit page just so we have a little hub that we can start to grow, and then if people start to contribute or we repost things, put subreddits, whatever it may be, everyone's going to be really happy, loving it and enjoying it. But yeah, I've been Luke.
I'm Mel.
Make sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe. Catch you guys in the next one, and hopefully we'll be doing another one of these in the not too distant future.